Okay, so in this video, I'm going to go through a quick demonstration on how to use the equals method, as well as using the actual equals sign, and then obviously distinct out what the difference is and when you should use them. So, just to excuse me, for everyone to get a good understanding, there are essentially two equality types. So one is the logical equality, and then the other one is the referencing equality. And they're completely two different functionalities. What would be a good thing to do is actually go for examples. So if I had a string instance created to say that string 1 s1 equals new string, and then let's give it a name, let's say boat, for instance. What I can also do is create two instances with the same value. So now I have s2. What I can do here is then I can determine whether or not the value of this instance is the same as string 1. So I'll do a sys out s1 dot equals s2, and when I run that, I'll get a true value. So it looks at the value associated to the instance and determines whether or not it's true. Some other functionality that you have is the referencing equality. So the one that we've just done there is the equals method. The referencing actually determines whether or not the instance created is actually referencing the same memory same memory address within the Java memory that when you run up the program. So what we can do here, again, just another best thing to do is just go for a quick example. So if I do an s1 equals sign twice, s2, it'll actually return back a false value. And the reason for this is that we've actually created this instance and not referenced the instance when creating a new reference. So if I go, for example, to say s3 is actually equals to s2, I'm actually referencing s2 in this example to create a new string instance. So if I actually do a equal sign determine whether or not s2 equals s3, it actually returns back true, which is what you expect. Also, because they're the same value, you can also do s2 equals s3, and that will also return back a true value itself. So they're the differentials between working out the object instances. It's slightly different for primitive values. So if I had int x equals 7, and then do int y equals 7, I won't be able to do a sys out by using the equals method, because there's no associated methods on that primitive value. You only get the methods associated to the object instances. So what you have to do here is that in order to work out if a primitive value is the same as another value, it's actually the referencing equality method here. So I actually do a sys out. You know what I'll do? If I do if x equals y, then sys out this is true. Else this is false. So if I run that, it will actually determine whether or not the value associated to the primitive type is actually the same. And then if I change one from a 7 to an 8, for instance, you can actually see it actually returns false. And the referencing equality is actually the same for any other primitive type. So you can probably do a char, and it will return false because it's 7 and 8. If I do it back, it will actually match to the values itself. So they're the two basic concepts of equality for logical and referencing, and I hope that clears things up. Alright guys.